When my 12-year-old asked to go to the store alone, my first instinct was to say no, not because it wasn't safe, but because I wasn't ready. That is when I realized sometimes overprotective parenting is more about us than them. Are you protecting your child, or are you preventing them from growing? Because when this parent reached out, I truly wanted to address this thing of overprotective parenting, something that parents do not understand, or even they might feel they are safe or they are not doing it, but apparently they are doing it unknowingly, or even some knowingly. So like 20% of the cases that I have in my office, most of them, these are adults who have experienced the overprotective parenting, and now these are people who've ventured into their own businesses, their own careers, and most of all, they have gotten a spouse to stay with. So it becomes very difficult for them to be in that relationship, and unknowingly they come to understand later that, oh, I have been affected by the way I was raised up by my overprotective parent. How do you know that you are an overprotective parent? Because sometimes people do things and they do not realize. So for example, this parent was noticed just by not allowing their children to be alone, walk alone to the mall, trusting them to do something like that, because they feel not safe, like this child doesn't have a safe space outside them. So another thing is, you might find a parent who is very young and their children are young, but they will not even give their the class teacher time to rest because of the many calls they keep on making. They will make calls after calls about petty things. They will make calls about their grades because they want to be involved in their learning. I'm not saying it's bad, but sometimes it goes overboard, where this parent, now it's like you're forcing things. You want things to be done like this, that, like that, and so on. You might find another parent who doesn't allow their children even to take the school bus, not because they cannot be able to pay for the, for the fee or for the transportation, but just because they don't feel that their children are safe in that bus. So they will always take them to school, pick them from school, and also choose their friends because they are afraid of, bad influence, which is not a bad thing. But again, it is good to teach this child better ways to know how to choose their best friends or their own friends. So there are people who are so much in fear of raising their children that they want to put a shield in everything that they do. But what causes this? Most of the time you find that a parent who experienced trauma. So this is a parent who will always want to save their children from that because they are relating it to something else. Again, you find a parent who maybe received some news that were bad when they were children, or maybe the news were being passed and they were there, so they got that so much fear, and for that reason they want to protect their children every time, which is not bad to protect your child, but don't be overprotective. You also need to teach your child very nicely what to listen to, when to be there, how to avoid bad conversations if they find themselves in such a situation. You also find that maybe a parent lost someone. The problem is seen later when your child is grown, they have gone to school, they've completed, they've gotten their good jobs, they're into their own businesses, and they have gotten a spouse to live with. Now there becomes a big problem, because one, this child will start experiencing, now the young adult will start experiencing the effects of how they were raised, because we say much of what we should today when you're an adult has been created from the past life that you went through. So you might find a person who is not able to be independent. They are also not able to form or maybe to find good relationships or friendships. they also experience, you know, the second choice stand, where I'm choosing this person if as my last option, especially when they are picking their spouses, because people notice, other people will notice this is a person who cannot be independent on themselves. This is a person who is so overprotective that they will always run into their parents for help or for consultation, and that is so much a problem when it comes to relationships, marriages, friendships, even at work, because these are people who cannot make decisions on their own. Others become rebellious. You wonder, why is my child so rebellious that they don't even want to listen to me? It's because of the way they were raised. They have now come to realize, oh, this affected me in one way or another. So they start also creating their own shield and now unlearning what they have been learning throughout their life. So as we bring up our children, be careful of how you are doing things. Let them experience hardship. Do not make everything easy for them. Let them experience those friends so that they can be able to identify the good friendship, the bad friendship, the people to cut off, so that they can also develop a skill of, you know, forming boundaries and saying no where no is meant. Not, you know, being I don't know what to say, you know, I will tell you tomorrow, because they want to make a call to you so that you can confirm to them. So let them grow as children. Teach them the right morals. They will grow, because your children, God has given you your children to guide them, not to live their life for them. Just guide them, teach them good morals, then you're good to go.